Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful cookies and cream cake. So I'm going to start with some decorations. I have some chocolate shards, some Hershey chocolate, some Oreos. I have a chocolate cake, a cookies and cream cake, plain cream cheese frosting, and then Oreo buttercream and some Oreo crumbs. So I'm going to start by putting a little bit of frosting down onto my cake board. I'm just using the bottom of a cake container because I'm just going to give this cake to a family member. So I'm spreading this out so that my first cake, which is my chocolate cake, can stick to the board and won't move around so much. So now I'm going to pipe a border of cream cheese frosting around the cake, and this border is going to act like a little dam to hold our chocolate ganache in, which is what I'm pouring in now. If you guys need any recipes for this stuff, just let me know in the comment section below. So now I'm smoothing all of the chocolate ganache out, which is chocolate and cream. And now I'm gonna add my Oreo cake on top. Make sure it's even, mostly. Okay, so finally I'm gonna do a crumb coat. And so basically a crumb coat is a messy layer of frosting, which is okay because what it does is it holds all your crumbs in for you, which is really neat. So once we get this really thin layer on, we're gonna pop it in the fridge to make it harder. So my cream cheese frosting was a little soft, which is why it's coming out of the sides, but it's okay. I'm just smoothing it against the sides with the rest of the frosting. So I'm just going to add frosting wherever I need some. You see me receive another little cake topper. I took the Hershey bar cut paper and I cut it and glued it onto some construction paper to make it more stable, and I'm going to use it as a cake topper. I'm going to just pull that small lip of frosting to the center. So now you see me working on my final layer. I had already started some. I'm just putting all my frosting on top. And then I'm going to take my spatula and somewhat get the top flat. And then wherever the icing falls, you kind of just let it and then use that on the sides. I have my cake container bottom on top of a Lazy Susan, which helps ice the whole cake. It makes decorating cakes so much easier. I also have a bench scraper, which I'm making a 90-degree parallel angle to the cake. And this is a very good tool to invest in if you're going to be doing a lot of cake decorating. It helps make the frosting super smooth and look super awesome, which is the best thing possible. Now I'm just bringing that lip of frosting that happens when you smooth the cake into the center. Oh, it's looking, try not to drop my cake, guys. It's looking so good and delicious. It was so hard not to eat this cake. It was smelling so good. So good, y'all. Okay, so I pulsed some Oreos in the food processor, and so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the crumbs around the bottom of the cake board, and then I'm going to use my knife to push it up against the cake. And this makes the process just a little bit cleaner, and it's okay if you make a little mess on your board. You can always clean it up with a paper towel. So now I'm going to do the awesome drip effect with some chocolate ganache. So I'm going to smooth some ganache on top of my cake, and I'm going to let it fall wherever it wants. Just make sure I get the whole top covered. Make it as smooth as possible. It looks so good. Okay, so the little drops will start to form on their own, but then what you can do is take a piping bag full of ganache and form your own drops. So be sure to start the drops where some ganache has already fallen on your cake so that there is a seamless look to it, and just pipe wherever you see fit. You can always do some short, some long. That looks best. And if you want more of a natural drip effect, then you can heat the ganache more and it'll drip on its own. Just be sure not to heat it too much, or else it will melt your frosting and ruin your cake. So you want it drippable, but not hot. You can always add more to your drops to make them go longer, but you can never take any away. So be mindful of that. So spin your cake around, take a look at it, see where you need to make some longer, and what if you need to add any, or whatever you need to do. Okay, here comes the fun part. So now I'm going to make one slit into my beautiful cake, and I'm making the slit in order to stick my chocolate shard inside. So this is basically melted chocolate that's spread out on a cookie sheet and dusted with some other chocolate and Oreo crumbs. Drizzled with some chocolate and dusted with Oreo crumbs. So this is the part where you can get creative. So I already put some of the Hershey's and Cookies and Cream chocolate bar on and one Oreo. And now I'm piping some cream cheese rosettes because I thought cream cheese would go really well with the Oreo flavor because of the center and everything. So I basically pipe my rosettes north, south, east, and west, and then I do one in between each of those for the most symmetrical look. And now I'm putting a half an Oreo in between each rosette. This is the part that's very versatile. You guys can really use your own creativity and place things wherever you see and wherever you want. I really just went with the flow. I had an initial idea of what I wanted, but once I just started putting them wherever I wanted. I also got some mini Oreos to put on the cake. So I'm using my knife to form a slit. And inserting another one. I did some white chocolate drizzled with milk chocolate and some milk chocolate drizzled with white chocolate. And I have this heart silicone mold, and I basically crushed some Oreos and put them in the mold and then filled it with white and milk chocolate to make some little hearts to decorate with. I'm also using my ganache as a glue for all these materials and decorations. So I just basically spin my cake around and see what's missing something and where I need to add something. I'm dusting the rosettes with some Oreo dust just to add a little oomph. Yes, oomph is a word or a sound. If you guys want some more detailed ways to decorate these cakes, like the whole process of how I made my decorations, just let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what recipes you would like to see and whether or not you will try this cake out. So now I decided that I wanted to add another shard. So I went back in and I added another shard. But then I also realized I wanted one on the side, so I took some ganache and I glued it on the side. Just adding some cookies and cream bar. I used to eat these all the time when I was a kid. They were so good. I'm sure they still are, but I just try not to eat them. This is one of those over-the-top crazy cakes. And it was surprisingly really easy to transport. I took this cake to P.F. Chang's for my sister's birthday, and there was no problems at all whatsoever transporting it. It's a very stable cake. So if you guys have a party and you have to take your cake somewhere, this is a really good cake, especially if they love cookies and cream. This is the part where I was talking about adding another shard to the side of the cake. And I think I'm done. And that's where the cake topper comes in. Thank you guys for watching my video. See you next time.